and the button is red right now. So we all know what that means. Breaking the multiverse. What if we were in a video game? Where would we be? How would you play? Viz, our video game correspondent, I believe, has a take on
Oh, I know I should be wary. Still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose.
It's showtime!
it. Guys, what's going on? Memes here. Yes, we are back. We are back in the saddle again. Which particular saddle? I cannot say. Perhaps it's Red Dead Redemption 2. I heard good things. This
Hmm.
video games. You like those things.
Yeah. Well, them things is awesome. I guess there's a few that would be cool to like be in. There's definitely a lot that I would not be in.
Oh, okay. Top three games you would not want to be in.
Oh man.
Does one begin with Phantasm?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that game was. I just saw like blobs and creepiness.
I wouldn't want to be in Diablo, any of them. Probably wouldn't
Diablo.
want to be in any of the Dooms.
Wait. Okay, so currently the common theme is minions from hell rise up and invade our world are the places you would prefer to not be.
Yeah, cause well, like all the humans are dead except for like the protagonist and like a handful of other people. And if you think about your real world skills, nobody's surviving that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We're probably gonna have to modify this and yes, a welcome Bone. A greeting, greeting everyone there, as well as we got Bishop in the chat. Welcome one and all, and who may be joining temporally in the future for this. Okay, Bone brings up a good point. Okay, you say skills, but then again, if you had a BFG 9000, that might actually fix a lot of that. Although in my head, I'm now running that through. Given the sheer size of the BFG 9000, I don't think I
Exactly.
could pick that up. That thing is
Exactly.
ginormous.
You have to be Doom Guy to use that gun.
Or the Rock, Because
Yeah.
okay, there was that little known Doom movie that we don't speak much about because
Yeah.
it had the Rock, it had Jaleel White. I happen to like both those actors. It was not a good movie, in my opinion. I mean, it had some things, but basically at the end there, The Rock, they have him, I don't know, trying to. It kind of reminded me again of the Dragon Ball movie that we do not speak of.
We also
Where,
don't acknowledge.
yeah, where it's like, all right, we could do Piccolo. We literally need to do is green makeup and some ears, but we didn't do that. They kind of did that with The Rock, kind of trying to be half between a Baron of Hell and the Cyber Demon. Long story short, he ended up having the BFG 9000, and Jill turns it on him and stuff. But yeah, it's okay. But then again, if you were in a video game, if there's one thing I've learned from South Park, is if you get enough experience, you might be able to do other things.
So, if we think about the video game world as we're actually in a video game, like about 80 million isekai stories, where we are a character and we actually can just level up stuff and crap, and we have stats we can actually mess with and stuff like that. And it beefs us up physically. That is kind of a different story. Because I was just putting myself in a video game as me. Like, if you're just like a regular
Copy
old person.
paste. You're like generic NPC getting torn down by infernal imps and.
If anyone was sucked into a video game, the world, as described by and illustrated by a video game and stuff, we would all be NPCs. And we would be struggling to survive every day.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, there was a point in my life where I had started playing, what was it, Utopia Online. And I just wanted to be a miner, mining my ore in Minnook, not getting ganked, and just making a whole bunch of cool armor and everything. And to be fair, I feel like I could actually do that. I also do enjoy a little bit of blacksmithing, a little deep lore back in the day. But with that, I'm like, all right, that's one view. But then again, it's like, all right, if you are going to be an adventurer and stuff, it's like the one thing that I did notice, and maybe it's also from playing different Dungeons and Dragons games with house rules, of course. Because it's like, okay, yeah, you can just do a quick combat or something, but if you're gonna do a game, it's like, why wouldn't you customize it? The limit is your imagination. Why don't you use the damn thing? But it's the whole like, all right, if you're gonna do a character thing, if you're doing a lot of physical stuff, yeah, increasing your strength like makes sense. But if you're a wizard doing hand-to-hand combat, you're not casting any spells, and then you just start increasing your health. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense and everything. So it's physical things that you do. Whereas, like, if you happen to work like in a heavy physical labor job, yeah, your muscles are gonna tend to get more robust, and you're gonna have the ability to probably lift more things and everything. If you study a lot of like reading and doing all these other things, maybe your mind is going to expand a little bit. That's just kind of how I see it there, as well as welcome, K Show. Thank you for
Hey.
joining. I mean, it's not like this is totally inspired by crap. What are we going to talk about today? Open up the Twitter and be like, oh, people are talking about Minecraft. It's like, all right, well, last time I played Minecraft, I got stuck in a hole and I never walked back in. That's that's my sad end of Minecraft story personally. But that got me to thinking. The whole concept is it's like, well, what if you were in a video game? Now I haven't seen the Minecraft movie personally. I happen to like Jack Black and Jason Mimosa. It's spelling something like that. But I don't know. I just see the name. I'm like, I don't know. That's Aquaman and make me think of mimosas. Who doesn't
Yeah.
like those? But I'm like, all right, I guess I could see the movie at some point. It's like, not a huge fan. I don't really care, but the concept of what if you were in a video game? What happens if you have that crossover? I'm sure none of us ever considered back when Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out. It's like, what if Toontown was real?
See, I like the Who Framed Roger Rabbit approach. A couple movies have done the normal people suddenly in video games in some way or another. This Minecraft one is unnerving, like
Have
as
have,
hell.
have, have
I
you have
can't.
you have you seen or did you see enough that you're like, no, thank you?
Yeah, I've seen enough like clips and this and that that I'm like, no, that is creeping me right the hell out, man. No, no.
Okay, okay. Would you say it's more when you say creep out? Are you talking like it gives hints of like Five Nights at Freddy's vibes, or well,
Yeah, not necessarily scary movie. It's the fact that all this square stuff is also fleshy looking that I'm like, you know what? I'm happy in the game where I don't see anything. Everything is just blocks to me. Everything is Legos. Um and I it's fleshiness is no, I can't.
oh, okay. So in that case, let me ask: Have we come back here? Have we come back to the
I
Uncanny
was
Valley?
about to say, remember the episode about the uncanny valley?
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So where would you say the Minecraft movie falls on the Uncanny Valley?
um it's probably somewhere around uh, what is a bone puppet? But
I don't know what that is. I view that word and I'm like something bun bukaki or something like that. I don't know. I realize that's not the word, but that's just
I still feel like it's in that area despite not knowing exactly what that is. Simply because there's still like they still have that we're building blocks toys feel while not being that.
oh, okay, okay. So it's kind of like I would almost just from the little clip that I see, whatever, that zombie and the chicken and whatever. It's like, all right. So at that point, that's a literal Minecraft corpse, so to speak. But if it still has the ability and look like it might just be assembled together, like let's say we're adding a prosthetic hand, it gives one perhaps an unnerving feel that, all right, that just don't seem right.
That somebody took living flesh and just kind of stretched it over these freaking blocks, dude. That's what it looks like, and it's so gross.
I think that's what they were going for.
Bro. You know, not all video games need to be movies. Like,
Well, to be fair, until recently, and then you could still argue about this. A lot of video game movies historically did not do well.
yeah.
It took like 30 years for Super Mario to to rehabilitate its movie career, and
Honestly,
apparently
Detective Pikachu kind of set the new standard of, well, what if we just do the games with like the cute creatures and we keep them cartoony looking, and even if we want live action, you know, we just do somewhat of a Who Framed Roger Rabbit but with detailed CGI. And you know, once they fixed the Nightmare Fuel Sonic, they were like, oh, well, maybe we should try this with Mario instead of having like people, actors in costumes. Maybe we should just also try to make them look like the actual video game.
wait. Well, oh, come on. I mean, it's wait. So what you're saying is, in order to do a successful video game movie, all you do is take the popular characters and figures from the video game, basically do them as they were, or at least their likeness as they appear in the dang video games, and then you just do your thing rather than this
Trying to ultra
whole bunch
realistic
of
it in the weirdest places. Yeah.
like what did you do? You just made him fluffy and stuff like did okay, see that's the thing. If you had never done the adaptation before, number one, you probably still shouldn't have actually released that. Number two, I'm like, once fans see something within a video game, because I've made Sonic animated music videos and stuff like that. So it's like, we've seen Sonic animated in a way, and it seems to work. Why don't you stick with that?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you go and do the whole thing that works because, well, that's what works. And also, let's face it, a lot of folks, nobody is on the internet to complain. Well, except for me, I like complaining about everything. But my main thing is, I look at it, it's like, okay, if you know people are gonna say something, and especially if you change anything, like even like Facebook back in the day when a lot of folks did Facebook, I think some people still do Facebook now. Demographics may have changed slightly, but if you're going like every time they change Facebook, oh my God, look at all this, blah blah, it's the end of the world as we know it, and then it's like, oh, okay, you understand that, then it's like if you have the ability to do something well, so go it there. Now, if you're gonna be in a video game, you would want the video game to at least be good.
Yeah.
Now, did you watch the three body problem at all?
The what?
The three body problem. Yeah, that was like one of those Netflix thingies.
Oh, probably not then, cause I don't Netflix.
Uh, okay.
I'm
So,
too cool for Netflix.
oh, no worries. All right. Do you mind if I give you maybe a minor, not really spoiler, but just an aspect of it?
You could spoil the whole dang thing, man. I'm not
Okay,
gonna remember, probably.
okay. Well, they have these really shiny, super advanced tech video game helmets. They put on, and it's like one of the guys, the guy that played Sam from Game of Thrones. He's like, oh my God, the dirt smells like dirt. The dirt tastes like dirt. He's like, oh, this is all great. And then when his throat gets sliced by a katana, it felt like his throat was getting sliced by a katana in the beginning. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I died. So that's realistic, so to speak, video games, and the trade-off that you get of it being real.
Mm. As long as we don't go all Sword Art Online with everything.
Now, when you say Sword Art Online, I think I understand what that meme is. Enlighten me though.
Okay. So the reason it's a meme is because it's kind of, I guess, poorly written, but it is one of the isekai scenarios where oh no, everybody has the game system, VR game system that's a helmet, and they just lay down in the bed, but in the game, their brain signals control their movements and stuff. So everybody playing this game is great. Oh man, the creator of this game is a nut. He has rigged it to where if you die in the game, your helmet electrocutes you to death, and you die for real.
Oh,
And everybody's trapped in it, and you can't log out. He removed the option to do that. The only way to end this craziness is to actually beat the game or something. And a lot of people were just like, no, you know what? I live here now, I guess. But then in the real world, like these people had to get put on like life support and stuff in order to keep their body nutrients and stuff, like because they weren't eating because they were stuck in a game. I guess not life support, but yeah, hospitals were full of
no.
these...
That's like real life gaming and stuff. It's like I remember I was playing Ark Survival Evolved. My character would get hungry and thirsty. I would feed and water my character, and as I'm sustaining my character in the game, I'm like, I haven't drank any water for a while. Game. And it's
See,
like,
I hate games where your character can get tired and hungry and thirsty, and I'm like, this is the kind of realism I could do without. I'm
well,
trying to live a fantasy here.
To be fair, Ark Survival Evolved balanced that out because you could also poop at will, and also use it for fertilizer. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. That's awesome. You can, if it makes you eat in the game, it should make you poop in the game. I think that's only fair.
No, they did have that mechanic. You could go to evacuate your bowels, or if you were in strenuous movement and you had it for a while, it would just kind of do it for you.
You just poop your pants.
Yeah,
that's freaking
no.
awesome.
It would drop down. You could pick it up as an item and use it as fertilizer. And every part of the buffalo, they say.
Oh, I think it should make you poop your pants, and you're like, your pants are messed up, and you got to do something about it. If you don't poop willingly, you just poop yourself.
I'm gonna go. The designers went with a choice there, seeing as you literally show up buck ass naked, except for your standard loincloth covering your private bit. And then, like in any good survival game, what do? You go and you punch a tree. Why?
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously how you harvest wood.
Because that is clearly how you get freaking wood to build stuff and stuff, is punching the crap out of some trees.
See, I almost thought it's like, okay, I'm like, I can understand. Okay, once you get some wood, it's like, all right, you get some thatch, you get some stones, you can make yourself a little hatchet. I'm like, wouldn't it be better, like, if you had a rock, maybe the tree with a rock?
Well, in Power World, before you could take out trees, you collected sticks. So you just ran around and collected fallen wood and used that. And I was like, that makes sense. That's a lot better than go punch tree.
I'm going to assume part of it is you're trying to simplify an aspect and be like, all right, here's a node that contains between 20 to 30 units of wood. Just mine the node, and it's effectively you're mining it for that. That's my generic thought there, rather than being like, all right, let's calculate the exact amount of wood you're going to get per stick, this, that. And it's like, no. You picked up 6 units of wood with that.
Oh, yeah, and you did pick up rocks to use before you were able to mine basically. You just pick the rocks on the ground. So I thought that was a nice touch.
Well, that's the thing. Now it's like, wait a second. So what you're saying is we're putting you in a survival game, and you must be a hunter gatherer. That sounds a little familiar.
See, I like that part, and but the whole having to like make things and build stuff, like I don't like that part. I am not an architect.
No, see, that's the good part because it then allows you the creativity to do different cool stuff. Now, certain things may be limited by the materials you have. Like, if you only have thatch and you only build a thatch little hut, guess what? Any dinosaur or aggressor that comes by is going to wreck your house pretty quick. Wood will last a little longer. Larger dinos will still get through. Stone lasts very well until other people develop explosives. Uh, and then metal is basically when you become a threat because now you actually need to do effort in order to penetrate somebody's. That was the general thing in Alpha Arc. That's why we, after we got wrecked the first time, we did a secret metal base on top of a plateau surrounded by trees, but we immediately encased it with a larger stone thing. So it's like, no, we're just stone people. Leave us alone. We're not up to any trouble. So it's I feel like a lot of what happens within video games, if it's people playing video games and you have things like that happening, I don't know, it seems a lot like real life.
You if you put people in a video game like an MMO kind of video game, where there is no real consequences, real world consequences to your actions, man, you will find out exactly how messed up humans really are.
But I mean, isn't that the internet?
Yeah, yeah, in a sense, but it's
I'm just saying, it's like if you go up and aggro somebody in World of Warcraft and you get one shot, you're going to respawn. You can keep on doing it. You'll have a timer, but you're eventually going to respawn and everything. If you go aggro the wrong person IRL, you you're probably not going to respawn like that.
yeah,
And
that's the biggest thing is it's okay, I'm not dead for real. So if we take that away and we make put everybody in a video game and take away the extra lives and stuff. And nope, you're in here and when you die, you die. Um how
Jack
much
was bringing up the Jumanji movie because what they did in Jumanji is people had three lives,
mm,
which was an interesting thing. Which at least personally, the Jumanji remake they did, the first one, I thought that was actually pretty good. Like the original one where they did with The Rock. They did the second one, and it was they added in some other stars and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I don't think it was as good as their first remake there. I
mm,
still watched it, but certain things like that play into because as somebody that played World of Warcraft, there's something that
mm.
we like to refer to as creative use of game mechanics. What does that mean? Okay, maybe you're cheating. Maybe it's just a creative use of the game mechanics that was not intended. So it's like back in Blackwing Layer before, it's like, all right, it's like if you happen to be playing with a bunch of Aussies, like I may or may not have, and you're trying to do something with a whole lot of ads running around and kiting and doing all this stuff before you get the gear, and then you realize, wait a second, we can just divine intervention razor gore, all the ads leave, and we just tank and spank them, and then hit the brute force block that was Valstras. Uh, but certain things like that. But what they did in the Jumanji movie is when a character loses a life and they come back, they basically start falling from like the sky back to the ground, and I think they're invincible until they've landed on the ground. So that mechanic was used to help finish one of the I forget if it was the first or second movie. Uh, but yeah, and oh, Hex is commenting. I think on the sword art stuff you
Yeah.
were talking about because that totally reminded me of the Matrix. I'm like, that sounds like Ready Player One that was
Mm.
without consent turned into the Matrix, except the Matrix actually sustained the people. This just looked like a catastrophe.
Yeah, it was people in hospital beds and stuff. And honestly, it explored a lot of what we were talking about. And would have been, but a much better anime if they had ended it after one season, probably.
So like a lot of things, it's like you
Mm,
have something great, you could stop. But
yeah,
like
you should
most
stop
things
here.
that are
Nope.
successful, you keep going and going and going. I don't know what season of The Simpsons are we on?
Yeah, because at the end of the first season or whatever, they beat the game.
Oh,
The beginning of the next season, they're still stuck in there. They're just in a different video game world now, a different themed.
is it like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past? Once you finish the first thing, you must enter the dark world.
Yeah, basically.
With
Um,
just no reference to that. To be fair, in Legend of Zelda, that kind of happened too. You're like, yes, we're done. Wait, a whole new world? What? This this seems almost contrived. I think there were probably some hints and stuff throughout the game, but I'm just like, whoa. And that's why the game was awesome.
and then like apparently, at some point in one of the seasons, the crazy game creator who also made himself in the game and should have made himself a lot cooler, who cheats because it's his
Wait, the
game.
creator needs to cheat.
Right. Well, he cheats as in
Oh,
he's
he has his hacks or
God
creative
mode
use.
basically. Decides out of all the people trapped in this game that he's obsessed with the girl that the main character happened to be going on adventures with, and it got weird. And then they
That
started playing house. Like this story went on way too long.
just the way you described it there, Fizz, I'm like, wait a second. So what you're saying is a really super tech dude that spends his time in a virtual world became infatuated with a gal that was hanging out with some other dude. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Never
Out of everybody in there though, it's like, oh yeah, it just so happens that this one's special for absolutely no reason.
I mean that also sounds like plot armor.
Mm,
It's a reason for the show to continue.
yeah.
Otherwise, then it's
It's
just
yeah, that's what I was like. Mostly it was like, we want to milk this. Because it had a good start until they were so now it's like always known as like one of the worst isekai, especially video game themed isekais ever. It got bad.
see for me, I think at least for now, the pinnacle of television ending a show at the probably the optimum point was Breaking Bad because they
Mm,
went for 5 seasons and like a lot of good shows. Once you get 5 seasons, you can go past that, but at that point, you probably explored
Usually
much
around the five
different.
season mark is where you can tell the writers are grasping at straws for
I
ideas
mean to
to
be
milk this thing.
well, that's the other thing. If you've literally spent half a decade of your life working on something and you're a creative person and you feel like you've kind of done this fully out, so to speak, at that point, a lot of folks, I think they just kind of want to move on. And I think that's
Uh,
one of the things that a lot of folks like my thing is like the whole like MCU, it's like, all right, we've had like 10 or 15 years of all these superhero movies and all these folks doing it. It's like if you're an actor, like maybe you'd want to do something else at some point,
Great.
especially if you've made a name for yourself and you want to express yourself creatively along some other lines or something like that. And because the interesting thing is certain actors and actresses and everything, I think the general term is actor, so whatever. Um, but the guy that played George Costanza in Seinfeld, he seems to often get typecast into that same goofy role. I
Yeah.
watched him on like an NCIS or something. He played one of the greatest psychopaths I've ever seen. I'm like, this dude had depth and everything. And like, it was terrifying. Like, I looked real quick and I'm like, oh, kind of George. But they gave a bit of different look in his demeanor. And I'm like, yeah, that is an evil George. Very evil George. But it wasn't George V because he had different tone and the ability to do things. So that's why it's like, it depends. It's like some folks, like I had friends, like, I'm like, they're not going to like Dungeons and Dragons. And they end up getting into it more than me. That's why I'm like, if I'm being a video game, because a lot of times in life can be a pain in the butt. You have to deal with all these other things, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, if you have a focus, what's your focus? Survive. And, oh, hey, you need to gather something. Oh, God, there's a slime coming for me. I have a wooden sword. Whack the dang. Oh, God, it's melting me. I need to go find my friend Herb, and he'll restore 40 health points or something, because that's how it works in Dragon Warrior. But yeah, you just continue on. If you do something, some people happen to like that. Some folks that go online, they do their dailies, they do their trading, do some battleground, whatever it might be.
They may or may not get salty at a game and ruin the entire economy and then peacing out. Man, that was awesome.
God, Jack was commenting. I think it's becoming a new religion in a crazy way now. I was actually considering asking and starting a potential dumpster fire on Twitter, just because I could. I didn't. It was like, so what's the difference between politics and religion?
Oh boy, that would start one heck of a fire.
Because I mean, the obvious thing is, well, religion, well, there's faith in a god or something. It's like, really, I have people talking about god emperors and stuff in the political arena. I'm like, I'm sure that has nothing to. It's just, I think, and again, this is just arbitrary commentary and stuff. I think
it would still get flagged as engagement bait. That statement, that question.
No, well, it's already Minecraft engagement bait. So let's roll into it. I think a lot of it is people. I think in general they want to be part of something greater than maybe just themselves. And so whether it's joining a particular group or community and different folks that share maybe some similar beliefs, maybe not all of them and everything. And then you're also going to have like the whole excitement factor. Like when you have a shared emotional moment or something like that, it's like, okay, but first off, as a masshole born and bred, I grew up.
You were born and bred?
I grew up.
Oh, like man.
I became conscious of like at least team sports after the whole Celtics run. So basically for the first half of like my adult life, we lost at like everything. Once I got like junior year of college, also it's like, oh my God, the Red Sox won the World Series. And it's like, oh my God, that's cool. And then we had all these other teams winning. Well, actually, we had the Patriots first and everything. And then it's like, yeah, that's cool and everything. So if you're out with people and you share, see that's what gives me hope, because I'm like, listen, I'm pretty sure you could like do a quick study where it's like, let's get a whole bunch of like sports fans and stuff from all over the place and everything. You record their reactions. We'll put it together in a commercial. You air the commercial. And then you also had some demographic information stored. And then you have a separate commercial where it just shows everyone's political general affiliation there. And it's like, wait a second. People that disagree can actually agree on something. Maybe we're all not that different, but the current game is just divide. You divide so much, it's like, I think you're kind of taking some of the humanity away from humanity. But that's a personal opinion.
See, Rick got Yeah. This guy gets it. That's what I was trying to say. Jeez.
I mean, that really does seem to be the case. I think, what is it?
Also, hello, Nathan.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Nathan. I completely ignored you. That's why I need to have a good co-host. I think Rick is. That's another way. Actually, I like that statement because that's very generic. You don't need to quote the principle of Matthew of those that have shall have everything to gain or something like that. Because then you're like, well, that sounds kind of terrible, because what happens about the people that actually need stuff? So it's like, yeah, but that does be the case.
Two things I gotta say on this topic. real quick. First of all, Lewis asks if life is a video game, who is playing all of us? I don't know. All I know is she's got serious skill issues.
So it's Piper.
In my case, yeah, she's got some serious skill issues. Whoever's playing Piper has some even worse skill issues, though. But and the other one is, here's one that tickles me about you humans. You have video games that are just simulating going to work. Like people go to work and then they come home and they play a video game that is just going to work. Right down to you need to do this and get this done to get the monies. Like you live in a shack right now. Like
But you go to work, you achieve these things and everything, you'll be able to better yourself better. And no, but isn't that the whole point of video games? Because at least there's a prescribed process and you have the ability to actually improve. And
that is true. There's not much in your way. Like what is in your way is a very determined obstacles, and it gives you the path right there to get around those obstacles. It's like you're pretending. What if things just went the way they should? That's what some of these simulator games are. Is just what if life went the way it should, but often doesn't.
Or at least it's going to throw you a turn. At least it's entertaining or something like that. It's like, oh my God, wait, now I need to do something completely epic and that appears to be impossible. It's like, there's no way I can do that. But then you at least lay out a path that somebody can actually attempt to climb that mountain. Now, everybody might not climb that mountain, but occasionally there may be somebody that happens to notice a path through that hasn't been taken and might be able to get to the summit and be like, hello, there's a way to get here. And I don't know, maybe a rope.
And if you really get tired of that job simulator game, you can always stack a bunch of boxes on top of each other until you exit the map through the sky. It's so, you can't really do that in real life at your job.
I mean, that actually kind of seems to line up with the whole Jumanji lore, because that's kind of where you come in, you just kind of randomly appear in the sky and come down. So obviously, just lift yourself off the map.
Just escape the map.
If it only renders so far, once you get past that, there you go.
Escape the invisible wall.
The upper crust is a bunch of crumbs. Very fair. That's very fair. But one of the reasons why I bring this up is, again, like I said, it depends on the video game, but it's like, all right, so how is real life different than a video game? Well, you apparently only have one life to live, at least as it appears within relevant magnitude. So what are you going to do with it? And then it comes into, it's like, all right, well, you're gonna explore your opportunities. You go on all these great quests. It's like, all right, do you have the prerequisites to actually go adventuring? Or is it like, I am literally just trying to survive at this moment? And that makes going on adventures and stuff a little bit more precarious, where you're like, where's my next meal coming from?
You wanna know something kind of funny?
Yep.
Okay, so before the comic book stuff, the Piper's last job was working for Boss flipping houses. Yeah, and that was till she damaged her hands enough to the point where she couldn't she wasn't efficient anymore. But before that, she would help flip houses, everything from hardware swapping out, painting, tearing out, this and that, and then she was usually the cleaner too. But what's funny is, so since she had to stop doing that work, she then started streaming as a wolf girl, playing games like House Flipper. For money.
You use your skills. You use your skills. Yes, yes, that's a very nice change, Nathan. Correct. Well, that's yeah, yeah. Don't that just beat all? I mean, I can't say that that surprises me at all. But
Well, no. The second we realized that House Flipper was a game, like we were on it. We were on that shit. Like, oh, my old job. Let's do that. What's nice about the game, though, is that instead of boss telling us and providing the colors and this and that, I can. Oh wait, no, I couldn't. That's right.
so it literally was like Piper's last job.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, and I was like, I could pick my own colors, and I'm like, no, that's not right. I could pick where they go, but I still was. Last I played, I was still, working for a company. I think the goal is to have to be your own boss, but first you're beholden to other people, and you're doing what they want. You have to use
Oh,
their
just
colors, and
literally just
sometimes,
like the job. It's like, yes, you must gather enough resources so you can do your own thing. Hope you have enough jobs, blah, blah, blah to survive. Yeah.
right? And you start off living in a shack, like, um, but the customers, man, they had some awful taste, dude. They'd be like, "Hey, take these colors, make them look good together in this room. Use puke green and neon purple. Let's go!" And some Pepto Bismol to tie it
Let's
all
see.
together.
If it's the short period from the late 70s to early 80s, that might be appropriate. Then again, it was also appropriate to put carpet on walls. You just a
Yeah,
fuzzy wall.
it didn't let me do that. Oh man, I remember skating rink that they had carpeted walls. It was fucking. I mean, that made it a lot easier to grip the wall when you can't
Oh, if you hit
break.
it, it's gonna cushion you a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it could be some burns there. Charlie's commenting about Nash equilibrium, the most commonly used solution for non-cooperative games. That kind of sounds like what is it, like the prisoner dilemma or something like that. It's like where the incentive is to be dishonest and throw someone else under the bus. See, I don't like that because I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds like a single game. If there's one thing I've learned from I'm going to go with pre-crisis Peterson at some point. So what is the crisis? I don't know when he nearly died, went through all that stuff. But it's like life is not a game. Life is a series of different games. Consider them sets or different things.
Yeah,
You can use the
like
word
mini
game.
games, but not as fun
You have many
usually.
games that end up being the cumulative narrative of all the stuff and things that's going on here, at least from our human flesh bag perspective and stuff. And it's like, yeah, things seem yeah, seem crazy and everything. It's like, yeah, but our little planet is kind of, I don't know, it seems to be in a very vast cosmos. So it's like you sit back, you're like, does the sun really care what we're doing? Like if the sun was hypothetically like alive, which
It
depending on
is.
how you
His
define
name
it,
is
I'm like,
Aaron.
oh,
Oren, I mean.
does does he care?
A little bit. Only a little bit, though.
Okay. See, we learned something new here. God, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. I'm gonna be talking all this smack about Orin and stuff like that. It's gonna be a super beefy solar flare. Oh God. Oh, maybe you should have insulated your infrastructure, silly humans. Yeah.
Well, you guys are pretty much left to your own devices. As long as you don't manage to mess up anything in the other realms, you're just an experiment, like basically. Just see what you guys can do. Although you're getting really close to freaking them out, I think. I think they should start to worry. But
So
guys talking about games and politics, interesting brew. Little bit. It's like a little bit of sprinkle, like flavored in there. But this Nash equilibrium is kind of interesting. Like I wanna um
all I know is the Nash embedding theorem allows you to essentially like square a circle. It allows you to embed something three dimensional in like a two dimensional space. Oh,
wait, what?
Hold on. Mesh embedding theorem, because totally haven't gone there before. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on. It states that every remaining manifold can be isometrically embedded into some Euclidean space, being preserved later, for instance, blah, 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 blah. All right. So this thing, all right. So you've got some shape that you can put into flat space. There's a method you could embed that. I think, hold on, I think the easiest way to explain this is
It sounds like they should have called it MASH instead of Nash.
but that wasn't the guy's name. The guy's name wasn't Nash. That was a popular TV series. His name was Nash. But I see what you're saying there.
It would at least have been a little more self-explanatory. Yeah, mash it down in there.
Okay, so I think the concept is something like this, where you've got, all right, so this is like a 3D torus, basically a donut, but it keeps on going inside out. So at some point, it would at least appear, if you were an ant walking on that, to be pretty flat. I think that's what it is. I might be completely butchering that, but it was something like was related to Thad's work that I think opens up an avenue. Then again, that does say Romanian and not Pseudo-Romanian. So now with a little bit more knowledge, I'm becoming a little bit skeptical about what I might be saying, or at least within a previous context. So, all right, so we will stop with that. But yes, game, a great escape. Occasionally, okay, I say this because this is just like more probably a personal venting, cathartic thing. I'm like, if I spent as much effort in real life as I have on some video games, what the heck could I accomplish?
I know, right? But here's the thing. Here's the appeal, aside from escapism in general, the big appeal and the big difference, right, between pretty much any game. Well, let's keep it to video games, because like gambling games, that's a different story. So outside of gambling, what makes games different, even if you're doing the same thing in the game that you do in real life, even if everything else was exactly the same, the biggest difference is the lack of permanent consequences. So even if, like, we were in a video game right now, if this was a video game and it is just, often a very boring video game, we go to work and poop. Actually, that part's pretty cool. And all this stuff, we do all this really mundane stuff. It would still be more fun as a VR video game than actual reality, because there's no permanent consequences. So the being able to do stuff that's kind of, doesn't make sense to do or whatever is okay. You can experiment within the parameters of the game. You can't really do that in real life. You try to mess around in real life just to see what happens, and usually what happens is not good.
I believe the current year term is F around and find out.
Yes, effing around and finding out in real life tends to suck, but tends to be super fun in video games.
Yeah. And Jax, I may or may not resemble that slightly. I can't say for. Maybe it should have been snuffed out probably at least once, only by the grace of my big Greek friend saying, "Why don't you ride with me?" To the point where it's like, 15 minutes later, if I got back in that other vehicle, I would have been decapitated. It's like, yeah, that passenger side A-pillar, yeah, that was about like 6 to 10 inches from my buddy's head, and he was the driver. I'm like, oh, I'm sitting where I was and saying, yeah, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. So that was one. Also done other things that, yeah, that's why it's like
Nathan's got a good point too. Of another major difference is the the amount of energy put into doing a lot of this stuff in real life is way higher than the amount you need to do it in a game, which is another thing that makes the game version of the same task more fun because you can do it more, more or
So within
faster, or more efficient. You know,
five double clicks of my mouse over 30 seconds, and I can harvest an entire tree's worth of wood. This
right?
is Here's an axe. There's a tree. Good luck.
Go have it. Yeah, go have at it. Yep, exactly. There is that.
That's it. So it's almost like an extension or so. Oh God, okay, so does this mean that perhaps the short term, I think they're probably already doing this. One of the things where it's like, all right, if you're in a particular job and maybe it's kind of hazardous and you don't want a person to get hurt or something, it's like, hey, we got like some robot or something here. Oh, but yeah, but the robot, it's very hard to program. It's like, what if you had a human playing that robot? I don't know. Is that going to be the next thing now? For some things, the robot and the programming can just do its own thing and everything. But I'm thinking until you get to the point where that's why I'm like, I think some of the last jobs are going to get replaced by some of these different automation systems. Could be wrong about this. Probably going to be like a plumber and electrician job because yes, there is a by the book way to do things, but there's also that whole thing when things don't go right and you want the experience, you just have to kind of maybe slightly break things to get things to work and do these adjustments. There's a lot of fine tuning and other things where it's like, even my last job, it's like, all right, let things up and put them down, load them up, build some pallets and stuff. I know those jobs are going away at some point. It's just
Mm.
not to the point where it's like, all right, we could either just do the Amazon thing and design an entire facility around this and invest in all the equipment that's really freaking expensive, or hire a bunch of base robots that are like, I don't know, like really expensive that are going to require maintenance to do this. So like at the point, it's like, yeah, we could still employ humans, and at least we're not paying them a huge amount, but at least enough that look, we're employing some folks and the job's still getting done. So certain
Oh
things
yeah,
like that
there's
are
still
going
gonna
away, but
be some physical jobs, especially that it's gonna be more cost efficient in the long run to just pay some people. Everybody's saying their near death experiences. If you combine both me and Piper, we're probably on like life somewhere in the teens, probably. Um,
see, that's how I can tell you're not a cat.
yep, yeah, we went past 9. I'm pretty confident we're past 9. I'm pretty sure we're in double digits, but uh,
Ouch.
there's a
Okay, Charlie, I read that in two different ways. It's commenting that I hit a pipe hiding in the grass. I don't know how high I got nor how far I flew minus the bike. See, I read that first half first, and without the second part,
imagine him hiding in the grass. Him hiding in the. I was hiding in the grass. Yep.
okay. I get it. Yes, yes. Nobody would ever project on the internet. Yes, because I've never hidden the grass and hit a pipe.
Exactly.
It's no, but it's yeah, flying off of something very high and dude, I still remember going down hills and be like, we built jumps and stuff. Well, that would be like kind of like the whole point. And you're going back, it's like, all right, as a much less massive child, I did that. If I did that now, I'm not sure gravity would be as forgiving.
Yeah, dude, young humans, man, especially humans, man, like the young humans think they're invincible. Um,
Oh, that's the thing. It's like you have some horrible wounds and everything. You just walk back home. It's like, what happened? It's like, nothing.
I fell.
Yeah, yeah. When you got to try to explain to your folks, it's like, why are you missing all the skin on your forearm? Like, what happened? Why is this like massive, grievous chemical wound? It's
I
like,
fell really fast.
Like I was playing with some stuff that I should not, and it went off
I was
in.
learning how to make
Yeah.
napalm.
No, that was another time, but yeah, yeah. That's why I say I'm not a good person. I am not a good person. I've done some horrible things. Yeah, yeah. Oh, skateboard. See, I couldn't even do skateboards, man. I've hopped on a skateboard like 2 or 3 times and then just zipped out from under me.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Skateboards, um, couldn't get the physics down for that.
Jack the thing, back on the bus. Oh God, I'm getting flashbacks from like Rugrats right now, where it's like, yeah, you have to take the bus. Why? Because it was 15 miles uphill both ways. God, I miss Grandpa Simpson.
Hmm.
Excuse me, Grandpa Pickle. It's I still love that. Oh God, Kingfisher 9000, Kingfisher 9000. Oh God. Ah, yes, the means of the past. Welcome, Lug. Good to see you,
Goodness.
my friend. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, and the inevitable Fizzy. Ba-ba-bum. True. That's true. No, there's a lot of
That's not quite 100% family friendly there, Lug.
oh. But and I mean it's yeah. But all I know is now apparently in a PG-13 movies you're allowed to get at least one F-bomb, which apparently I missed in Godzilla King of the Monsters because some people were complaining about that. And I'm like, wait, there was an F bomb or something? It's like, oh, yeah, the mom said it's a blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, yeah, that human scene, that's when I got up to go to the bathroom. So I totally missed that. Uh,
you missed the one F bomb. Oh no!
oh, no, but then again, I sit back, I'm like, Godzilla movie, that seems kind of weird. It's like, was it required? No, but it's like, that seems to be the thing that they're going on now. It's like, I don't know. Again, I kind of like
Well,
the
I
whole
think
census thing.
honestly, I think the F bomb has more impact if it's like just one. Like if if all your characters haven't been cussing and then one does and it's that one, something got
Yeah.
real. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's super serious because we haven't had potty mouse in this whole movie. Um, Especially if it is the mom, like, and everybody's been, yeah, like, oh man, this thing is bad enough that this person that doesn't cuss, it made them cuss.
Gonna be
More
something
impact.
going. Well, it's impactful, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that I liked. I think it was kind of like was it like okay, probably a bad example with the whole snakes on a plane where you got Samuel L. Jackson. I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane, and it's like every like when it's an extreme example and it carries weight because if you're just dropping profanity the whole time, it kind of loses its meaning and stuff, and you kind of get desensitized to it. So that's how I kind of feel. Where it's like I feel like that's an artistic thing that if you use in the right position can be powerful. Otherwise, you just
Mm.
kind of I don't know. Yeah, you can do what you want. I ain't the boss of anybody, but
Oh,
that's
shit.
one of those things where I feel like in video games and stuff as well. Let's look back around because okay, again, also okay. Let's weave it all together right here. All right, cussing. Who do we curse? Those we love and those we hate. Now it's
Oh,
not
and
like
those that are just hanging out in the Xbox Live chat
oh yeah. No, that's it.
lobbies. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just standard lobby provocateurs and everything. I'm sure that doesn't account for a lot of different 12 to
That's
different
also well
adolescents.
now there are like more permanent consequences, but it was another extension of I'm gonna talk like a sailor because I don't know these people. We're not gonna play after this match. I'm not gonna see them ever again. Hopefully, um, and I can't say this to people in their face, so I'm gonna say as many bad words as I can now, um, because
Mhm.
yay, Fantasyland game time!
I mean, That's the thing. It's like, all right, the ability to do something, that's the thing. Now, just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean you should do something. Now, and that's one of the issues I think you run into a lot of the internet, because a lot of folks go around and be like, you can't do that. Now, having spent enough time on the internet, if you really don't want somebody to do something, as soon as you tell them and you start finger wagging at them to not do that, at least me personally, my mind's gonna go, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that.
It's like when you're online, everybody has ODD.
Oh, there was I forget what article it was. It was like the average social media user posts like they're like 6 beers deep or something like that, 6 drinks in. It's like you're literally like intoxicated just because, and there's all this different stimulation and all these things, and the algorithm's like, we know it is going to occupy your time.
To me, I just still treat it like old school chat rooms. I'm like, I'll just talk. Well, I do a little bit better than that. On mine, pretty much, yeah. I just talk and post my schedule. Like,
You've gotten better on phrasing.
wait, what did I say?
No, I think you've gotten better on phrasing.
Oh, nice.
One of the things is you would often speak words, and some of the words that came out, you're just like,
oh my goodness. Too much has come from this one show that I feel like would be hilarious referenced later, especially out of context.
Yep.
That lisp that I also have for some reason, mysterious.
He's hot.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right. With that, since we've got some porks in there, which apparently may or may not be banned in some areas of the internet. No.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
I'm
right.
done my commentary. I'm done my commentary there. Well, let's see here. All right. So, Liz, what do you got coming up?
Today's Thursday. What do I play on? Oh, Minecraft. Hey, look at that.
Oh, we picked the right thing to rip off then.
Yeah, it was a good thing to reference. I play Minecraft and I suck at it. On Twitch in what an hour and a half, something. 2 hours and a half. 9. 9.
And within the next 90 minutes ish.
Okay.
It should be in the Twitch dimension down there, listed in the doobly doo and the chatteroo. And there's also Piper Channel up there. So we've got that stuff, and I think that's about all we got. So any last words of wisdom or anything to leave the good folks with?
I was digging a hole. I'm gonna keep doing that.
Okay. Well, we all know what happened the last time I dug a hole. I got stuck and there was no looking back. But hopefully no wolf girls will get harmed in the making of that project.
I'm broken. You broke me. Oh no. Oh dear. You guys? You guys! I just want to hug some good.